I'm Scott Watson, Head of Communications for Volkswagen. Just wanted to take a few moments to welcome you and thank you for joining us here at the Salamander Resort for the Volkswagen Full-On Drive event. Our agenda for the day will kick off our presentation with Mark Trahan. Mark in the back here. Say hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Mark's our Executive Vice President in charge of Group Quality. He will cover a little bit about how the company is doing globally and talk certainly about the new developments from Volkswagen here in the U.S. market. Following Mark, we will have Jorg Sommer. Jorg, good morning.
Good morning.
Jorg is our Head of Product Strategy here in the U.S. Jorg will cover our 2015 lineup and talk specifically about the new e-Golf, our new entry into the e-mobility space, and some of the significant changes we've made to the Jetta. Following Jorg, we've got another presenter in the back here, Oliver Schmidt. Oliver is our General Manager responsible for engineering and environmental office in Auburn Hills. Don't let his accent fool you, he's more American than all of us. Following Oliver, we have Jennifer Clayton from our marketing department. Good morning, Jennifer. Jennifer will cover some of our advertising for the Golf. I know some of you have seen some of the stuff we did early on, but we've progressed and we're focused on Golf right now because that's our new entry into the market. After that, we'll have time for your questions, then we'll get to the drive program of the day. Just in the morning, right after the presentation, we will pair you up just once to give everybody the opportunity to drive the e-Golf and the Jetta. Then we'll move down to the equestrian area where you'll have a chance to drive a full lineup of cars and no need to pair up at that point. I did want to point out we have a e-mobility workshop. Don't let the name scare you off or think it's not exciting. We've got a lot of details to cover on our powertrain strategy overall, and that will be led by Dr. Hensa in the back, Soren Hensa. He will be joined by some of our partners from Bosch and ChargePoint, as well as our other e-mobility experts. A couple of other people I wanted to introduce you to. I don't know if he's still in the room. Jan Dickman. There. Jan is our expert on the Jetta, so if you have any questions on Jetta overall, he can answer. Sherban Moldia in the back. Passat, Aldo, hello, Toreg, Daniel Shapiro, also Jetta, and forgive me if I'm missing any of our other experts, but I think you guys all know the communications team as well. Just one other point, as you can see on our agenda here, lunch will be served down by the Equestrian Center. Please do not speed. The state of Virginia takes speeding very seriously. You don't want to have a bad day. We don't want you to have a bad day. They're even allowed to come here on the property to give tickets, so really look out. One other note, some of our drivers yesterday were using our CarNet system, and I know it's new to some folks. There's an SOS button and there's an I button. The I button will give you the operator. The SOS button will get you the police. So be careful which one you pick. That said, let me go ahead and turn it over to Mark to get started on our presentation. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Scott. I enjoyed the evening last night. Thanks again to the staff for another excellently executed event. Very nice facility. I'll just go through a few charts here to give you sort of an overview of the company in general, and then we'll hand it off to Jorg to get into what you really came for, and that's product. If you look at this chart is reflecting the sales results for the group up until this point in the calendar year 2014. And what you can see is, I think, the wisdom of being a real global player. Because anybody who follows world economics know that different markets perform well at different times, and they also have challenges at different times. What you can see here is some markets up, some markets down. The North American market, while it's up, the group is down a little bit. And I think one of the reasons here, actually there's two key reasons. Number one, there's the cyclic nature of the market where the VW brand is sort of pausing right now in terms of model cycles. But also, most of the growth in the U.S. market this year has been attributable to light trucks. Again, an element of our portfolio that we don't particularly compete in yet, but that will change in the future. No, we're not going to offer a pickup truck, but more about that later. You can see Western Europe, Central Europe, fairly strong. South America, very much a challenged economy. The rest of the world, challenged as well. Asian Pacific, particularly China, very, very strong. But again, if you look at those two upper boxes, the world market and the Volkswagen Group in general, again, you can see here the wisdom of being a real global player, where the market overall is up 4.7, but we're able to exceed that. And so I think that's really good. And you can see this here also in terms of the investment that we've got planned here for this market, to really capitalize on the potential in this market. We've invested over $4 billion since 2008 just for the VW brand. Now this chart pertains mostly to the VW brand. But for the group, we've got another $7 billion planned for the next 4 years, starting with some of the investments that we just announced in Chattanooga, which I'll detail in a few minutes. But I think if you look here at that chart on the lower left-hand side that shows the geographic footprint of North America, these are only some of the key elements of our North American footprint. We have a lot of other facilities as well, but the key point here is this new, for example, the ERL facility that we just renovated and relocated in Belmont, California, where we've got 100+ engineers working on cutting-edge electronic technology and how that will apply to the automotive sector. Some really cutting-edge stuff there that's going on. We've got the new engine plant in Silao that we opened up in January 2013, which is, again, a cutting-edge plant in terms of technological prowess and its ability to machine and produce engines for the North American market. This alone was almost a $500 million investment. The Pueblo plant, which I think is significant because many people don't realize that this is the single biggest automotive facility in North America, in the industry, period. I think last year we produced over 650,000 cars there, for example. It's a key factor in our success here and our capabilities in the North American market. And parallel to that, we now have broken ground on a similar facility for the Audi brand, which will be the sole production facility for the next generation Audi Q5, as well as probably some other models as well. The Chattanooga plant, I think most of you are familiar with that, a cutting edge plant. Some of you have been there. In Tennessee, a significant investment, more than $1 billion, and we're going to invest in that further and expand that, again, with the addition of our new B-class size SUV. Near and dear to this location, the headquarters in Herndon, which we opened up in 2008. Again, another multi-million-dollar investment. I think we've got more than 600+ people working there, sort of the front end of the company for the group, not just Volkswagen, but Audi, Bentley. Not yet. Let that turn to rubber. Bentley, Bugatti, and also our Lamborghini friend, something near and dear to my heart. Again, the chart on the right-hand side showing the 47 years of Puebla, the 10 million vehicles. And significant now, with the advent of the Gulf family being produced now in the Puebla facility, more than 85% of the vehicle content sold here in North America for the Volkswagen brand is local content. More than 85% of Volkswagen content sold in North America is local. That's pretty significant. And I think going into more detail here with Chattanooga, you can see we've just announced that we're going to invest another $900 million in that facility for the production of what is now known as the Cross Blue SUV cars, designed more or less with the U.S. market in mind. We'll create primarily another 2,000 jobs there, plus secondary jobs as well as supplier related. And it's going to be a car, I think, that will hit a sweet spot here in the U.S. market when we roll it out probably in 2017. But Jorg will be able to give you more details on that. I think for me, one of the most significant developments of recent time is the fact that we now are going to give a lot more autonomy to the vehicle requirements for this market. We're going to establish a real R&D center in Chattanooga with 200+ engineers that will be given a lot more autonomy to determine the product configuration, not just for the BSUV, but all markets in general. And we've also made a commitment and have an agreement with our partners in Wolfsburg to shorten the product cadence also for the U.S. market. So our life cycles for these new vehicles that we will develop for the U.S. market in mind will be shorter as well. Now, Shifting over to quality, something that's, I think, near and dear to my heart. I think the VW brand, and the VW group in general, I think does well in all the different facets that define vehicle quality. Looking at the appeal study, which I think defines the intrinsic appeal of a car in terms of its emotional connection to the customer, the VW brand right now is rated 3rd overall in the non-premium segment. This despite the fact that, as you recognize, our product portfolio is towards the end of its cycle and just now starting its next refreshment cycle, with the example of the new Golf coming on. The Passat has been the most appealing midsize car for many years, and even last year it finished 4th, all right? The GTI just won its award for the sporty compact segment, and also got one of the award's 10 best interior awards. And the Tiguan was the 3rd in the subcompact SUV. And this, I think, is a chart that is pretty important for me personally, reflecting some of the efforts that our team has done in the past 4 years. We've been able to reduce warranty claims by more than 49%. And if you talk to any VW dealer, they'll all say, well, they don't have any more warranty work anymore, which is a good thing. And I'm confident with the processes and the structures that we have in place, that will continue. And I was talking to a couple of journalists last night that have known me for a while, reflecting my days in the past doing this for Audi. And a point of personal satisfaction, it irritates my Audi colleagues a little bit, but we've finally been able to consistently get this number down to levels lower than the Audi brand, which that's a bit of internal speak, but for me it's pretty significant. So anyways, with that, I think I'll close because there's a couple of charts here that show also what we're trying to do in terms of how we affect the customer in that whole service experience. And right now, I think VW is probably the most improved brand in regards to that service experience. We're 2nd in the non-premium segment, but we're also the brand that has improved the most in recent times. And for me, something, again, that's personally important is in our facility in Auburn Hills, which is where I am based, our call center, which is one of the primary touch points for our customers and supporting customers, has, for the 6th consecutive year, rated #1 by service managers. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this Carlisle survey, where they survey service managers for all brands in the industry. And they ask them a whole variety of questions. Are you satisfied with technical support? Are you satisfied with your special tools? Are you satisfied with service information, service promotions, what have you? And they also ask, how is the call center performing? How good are they in terms of supporting customers? How good are they in terms of resolving customer complaints? And for the last 6 years, the VW brand has been #1 in the industry. And that's, I think, pretty significant. So, in summary, we are deeply committed to this market. We've got significant investments planned. We're, as some people say, putting our money where our mouth is. We're at the cusp of now a complete refreshment of our model portfolio. We're here today to focus on the refreshing Jetta. We're also here today to show you some expansion in the Golf family, which I think personally is going to be very significant in this market. We're giving more autonomy to the product decisions that will impact the U.S. market portfolio, and we're continually focused on improving quality and the customer experience. That's the power of German engineering. So with that, I'll hand that over to Georg.
Thank you, Mark. So good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for coming to the site here. I had a lovely sunrise this morning. I hope you saw it too in Virginia. I'm from Virginia, the head office here in Herndon. My name is Jörg Sommer, and I'm the head of product marketing and strategy. I'm actually here since end of last year, September, in the States. Not my first time in the States. I've lived here a couple of times. Part of my kids are being born in the US. And what I will show you will be kind of a real firework on measures we already took since end of last year with my team to really have a very attractive model year 2015 lineup for Volkswagen of America to just continue and build on what Mark was introducing to. So there's a variety to talk about. Focus for me today is Jetta and e-Golf, but there's more to Jetta and e-Golf beyond Passat, Touareg, Beetle, etc. to talk about. So I'm a bit downloading information to you, and I'm looking forward to your questions later on in the facility behind us. Talking about Jetta, it's the best-selling vehicle for our brand in North America. Overall, worldwide, we sold more than 1.2 million vehicles, Jetta vehicles, and here in the US it makes up more than a third of our volume sold. So it's a really important car for our brand. It's one of the pillars of the brand of Volkswagen, how it's being perceived in the US. And so we did a lot of efforts now to make the model year facelift attractive based on exterior and especially interior enhancement, on safety, which is very key to customers for driving a Jetta, and economy, fuel economy, and I will show you what that is. So talking about best selling means also we had and did improve the value of the facelift coming to the market. And that story of value improvement you still see through a lot of other products. So the main portfolio of Volkswagen now coming to the market until 2015 and beyond. We did interior and exterior refreshments. You will see that, or have seen that yesterday night maybe already. We have the new EA288 TDI coming. I talk a lot about today because it's now going into all our products here in the US. TDI, very important. We are the leader in diesel technology. We are selling most diesels in the US car manufacturer. And we sell more than, so it's about 75% market share in the US for TDI engines. Jetta will start with a clean diesel and has also revised aerodynamics, really contributing to improve fuel economy. Jetta being so important for us, we have 5 powertrain line offerings with Jetta. That's the highest offer of powertrains for any car line from Volkswagen in the US, and that reflects the importance of that vehicle. It's a 2-liter natural aspirated gasoline engine, the 1.8-liter TSI, then the very important one, 2-liter TDI clean diesel engine for us, and then early next year coming the hybrid, and for the enthusiasts, very important, the GLI, and also that GLI will have to tell more differentiated, very, very sexy story in early 2015. So talk about design. It's really the typical new class leading design of Volkswagen. You see in a lot of vehicles, you will also see in the BSUV coming, very crisp, timeless design. And we updated here the front with the grille, the bumper. We have fins added. The visual perception of the car was aimed to be wider and more premium with that car. We have changed the rear trunklet, sheet metal, the lights, which will contribute significantly to a different perception, daylight, LED running lamps, and the big xenon lights available, which we expect to be available on most of the vehicles. Actually, as I show you the new lineup content also just a few shots later, and the underbody improvements, the radiator grille contributing to better fuel economy of that design. Talking about fuel economy, the TDI 288 clean diesel offers now 150 horsepower, that's 10 horsepower more. With that, we expect to be best in class with 46 miles per gallon, which is really key to the customers. That's why they buy a Jetta, that's why they shop for cars in that segment. And we improved that by 4 miles per gallon, and the automatic is improved by 3 miles per gallon. Also, the TSI turbocharged engine, direct injection engine, offers a very attractive 37 miles per gallon fuel consumption, and the 2-liter aspirated engines at 34 miles per gallon. The hybrid model coming later has a 1.4-liter TSI engine, and the GLI with a 210 horsepower, really a power plant, almost kind of a Jetta GTI type vehicle, as you are very familiar with that position. Interior. This really moved a big step into the heart of what Volkswagen modern product portfolio stands for, and really matches also the high end of the Golf interior. We have added the chrome tubes in the instrument panel. There's a color display in the middle. We have the air vents with chromes around, piano black finish on the steering wheel. Bluetooth now as standard in the entry. That's kind of, again, part of the value story. The dual zone automatic climate control and rain sensing is available with that vehicle. And also important for the experience of the customer, the keyless entry and start push button is now very attractively packaged to be available at the entry models. And that really adds to the usage experience of the car in a much more premium perception kind of way. Safety, next to the fuel economy, really important in that segment for us, and we want to be class leading with that safety standard we are now setting.